Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Life After Graduation conference. This is our alumni panelist session. And I'm going to start with introducing myself. My name is Sparshi Kehar, and I am a Sheridan alumni. I graduated from Sheridan in year 2018 from Business Administration Advanced 3-year Finance Diploma. And since 2018, I've been part of Sheridan. I've been working within Sheridan in different roles. And very recently, I have joined another team in a student affairs called Housing Department, and I'm working as an off-campus housing coordinator. And today in our panelists, we have Puneet Kaur Johal, Lavraj Tyagi, and they both are Sheridan alumni as well. So please, guys, move ahead and just start your introductions as we go forward. Lavraj, you're on mute.
Amazing. Well, hello, everyone. It's Lavraj, and I graduated from Business Diploma course in 2020, so right when COVID struck. And it was a wonderful journey. So after that, there have been, jobs, and now I'm working with international services as international student engagement liaison. And yeah, feel free to pop in your questions in the chat, and we will be able to see that as well. Over to you, Puneet.
Thanks, Lavraj and Sparshi. Hi, everyone. My name is Puneet Kaur Johal, and I am also an international student graduate from Sheridan. I did chemical engineering technology program, and I graduated in 2021. Right now, I'm working as a research assistant at Sheridan, and it's been quite wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your introduction, guys. So we're gonna start with our first question. So as both of you told that you guys came here as an international student. So would you be able to share that what inspired you to consider Canada as your post-secondary education, and why Sheridan? And just tell us about your journey from Sheridan till now.
So why I came to Canada was a clear reason. My uncle was here, and it was they guided me a lot to come to Canada. And as I graduated from my grade 12, I wanted to get exposure outside the country and be abroad to experience different cultures. Why I chose Sheridan, even though I had multiple offers from different colleges, was the course that I was looking for was really aligned and streamlined to what I wanted to do in future. So I had a clear goal what I will be pursuing in future. So Sheridan had aligned courses, and the course really aligned with my future as well. Plus, I am a foodie, so being in an area where Sheridan campuses are located in really good locations. So I was like, you know what, Canada and Sheridan might be a really good combination. So I think let's go for it. And I must say it was a really good decision that I took.
Amazing. Puneet, you're on mute.
For me, I guess one of the reasons, like Lavraj said, definitely the location and proximity, because Sheridan was the closest college to where my grandma lived, and I lived with her, so Sheridan was a pretty good choice. But that's just one of the secondary reasons. The primary reason is I did some research, and Sheridan is one of the best colleges for their international student experience, be it the services or the programming. So it's a really good college, especially as an international student, to experience. What I love about Sheridan is how close-knitted the community is and how inclusive everyone is. I loved the community and the staff and faculty, and of course my friends at Sheridan. So that would be my reason.
Thank you so much. That's amazing to hear. And I think we all can agree here that Sheridan has been our second home. either being as a student or right now being as an employee. So thank you for sharing your journeys and why you had Sheridan as your first choice. So as you all know, right now in our audience, we have all these students who will be graduating, and we would like to know about the career transition when you are graduating from Sheridan College. And Livraj, I think you mentioned that you graduated in year 2020. And I think that was a year when COVID was just at our door, and everything got changed. So would you be kind enough to share that how did you navigate the job market after graduation? And can you also share what were the cultural and professional challenges that you encountered at your workplace?
100% Sparshi. So when I graduated in 2020, I graduated in April 2020, and the lockdown started in March 2020. So it was just at the time when I was about to graduate, and now I can say it was a good timing. But at that time, it was unprecedented. I wasn't sure uh, how my career prospects would be affected by this, and as a lot of students are right now as well, with all the uncertainties going on. But I assure you that I was in the same situation, but the the navigation was helped with the Sheridan community. So it's a short story. I was working as a peer mentor in the team of first year experience, and we had a community of other peer mentors and managers. So I was always, talking and building connections, networking with people. So uh, as I was approaching my graduation, one of the peer mentors had a referral to a job which didn't align to their skill set or their requirements, but it was highly in aligned with what I wanted to do in future and what my career goals were. So I was referred to that position through connections, through networking, and he became one of my really good friends later on as well as we connected more. So we helped out each other as well. But the community building really helped me with my career prospects as soon as I graduated. I had a job uh, in January, which I started part-time, the training and everything. I started part-time, and as soon as I graduated, the next day my classes ended, and I was available and was willing to work full-time in a position which I was looking forward to. So yeah, that was my journey after the graduation.
Oh, that's wonderful, and yeah, like for sure, it would definitely be very hard for you having that transition happening during the COVID years. But even from my experience, because I graduated in 2018, the thing is, it's never easy. It's always like easy said than done. But it takes time, for sure. Like looking for jobs and getting yourself a job in your field or anything that interests you is a time consuming process, but you have to be resilient, you have to be patient, and for sure things happen, but it takes time. And also to add on a point that networking and building connections are really important, especially when you are going out and looking for a job, because in Canada, these things really matters, and it makes you just have that visibility among all the employers and whoever is looking to hire people. So talking about networking, Puneet, would you be able to share your insights of how important networking is in the post graduation scenario? And what did you do in order to excel? And what are the strategies that you did in order to get yourself out there?
Absolutely, Sparshi. I can't stress this enough. Networking and building connections is honestly the single most important thing that you can do to advance yourself in the job market for your career. And I can speak to it because I landed my first real job after graduation through networking. Although it was at Sheridan, I was working in a completely different department. And after graduation, I started working for student affairs. And that was through networking. So some of the things that I really like to tell students who are just graduating is to build your network and connections. And that can be through various things. LinkedIn, for example, is just one of the things, but there are so many networking events that are hosted by the college, by a lot of organizations in the community. I know a few that I attended last year by World Sikh Organization and LADLIA and BMG. So all these organizations in the community do hold these networking events. And when you go to these networking events, you are able to connect with people and VPs and CEOs of these industries of your field. And it is just amazing how networking can work in your favor when you just meet someone and you have like your elevator pitch ready. This is who I am and this is what I'm interested in. Be confident and present yourself to those people. And just with a few conversations, and I would say that's something that all of the students who are just graduating should work on. It's like an elevator pitch to if you were to meet someone from your industry, not even somebody at the VP or CEO level, but let's say just another person who's just currently working at a position that you're interested in a company, and just going to them and just talking. I think that is really important, goes a long way.
Yeah, for sure. Lavraj, I have a question from Anushka in the chat. What would you think would be the tips or tricks to have these networking sites when you go to all these events? What do you think? What would be the tips that you should know?
Wow, that's actually a really good question. Thank you, Anushka, for asking this question. There are different tricks for different people, but I would tell you what I did for networking and building a positive rapport. It's just following, just being punctual, having strong soft skill sets. Either it's being on time, either being the way of your talking, just what you do makes a lot of difference, and people notice that. People do notice that what you are doing and how good you are at it, and they start to notice that and start the conversation. And with that conversation, you can take it long way, different ways that you can go. Either you can learn from them, you can maybe teach them, maybe you can ask for referrals, connections. And I cannot stress this enough again, that connections do help. Either it's finding a job, either it's learning from experience that you are not in a perfect situation in to get that experience, but getting it from others' experience, the mistakes they did, so you don't repeat them. So I believe the tips for networking, to summarize them, would be work on your soft skills. Soft skills would give you an opportunity to network, and the actual skills that you have, either it's networking, IT computer networks, and chemical lab technician, or any other hard skills that you have, they will help you stay in the job and excel at the job. But soft skills would be able to get your foot in the door.
Right. To add to that, I would also say one of the tips and tricks that I do is on LinkedIn, you try to connect with, for example, the alumni or people who are already in the companies or jobs that you like. And then you connect with them and ask them for their referral, or follow the companies or industries or people that you're interested in. Because when you follow those companies, you will be you will see the job postings. And then if you've already connected with someone in that company, you can probably use their referral for that position.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Just adding to what Puneet said, that having a LinkedIn account is very important to start with your whole networking journey. Because even for me, like how I ended up my job in a bank, because I did my diploma in finance. So I used to follow all these banks on LinkedIn, Bank of Montreal, Scotiabank, and it's sometimes they do post the postings in their branch over their LinkedIn accounts. So it's always nice to have those kind of connections and have those networks in your account. So just see what's happening in the whole job market.
100%. To add to this point, I was reading an article a few days back that most of the jobs, or 70% of the jobs, are not even posted on the job postings. Those are mostly filled by referrals, connections, people who know someone who can do a really good job. So when you are well connected, those 70% of the jobs are actually that you are able to use them, right? So you are able to access them. Otherwise, you are only looking at those 30% of the jobs that are posted on Indeed, or probably some roster. But those 70% of the jobs are only accessible when you have a strong community or a strong network that would refer you or suggest you those jobs. So yeah, that's totally correct.
Yeah, for sure. We have two questions in the chat right now. Let's just go through them and then we can come to our next question. Harnoor is asking, is it important to work in the same field as we did the graduation in while on their postgrad work permit? And does it lead to any problems for the permanent residency if I work in a different field?
So
Um,
I can take on this question. Now, this question is really specific to your case, Hernur, and as we are not registered immigration advisors at Sheridan, we won't be able to go in depth with that. But you can definitely connect with our international services team, which you can book an online appointment on as well on Slate. Or not on you can check resources on Slate and book appointment on Central as well. So yeah, that will be really, really helpful in that regards. But we won't be able to put a lot of comments on that.
yeah, but I can share a little bit about my experience because the job that I did after my graduation was not related to what I studied. And so that was my first question as well when I went to an immigration lawyer and I asked them, like, I did this and now I'm working in this field. Is it going to be a problem? But the job that I was doing was like a tier 1 job. So it was really good, like as a research assistant, and the job duties and everything matched. So what my lawyer said, and again, like Lavraj said, I'm not giving you any advice. I'm just sharing my personal experience because I went through something like this, is that as long as you can prove that you are qualified to do that job, like you have the qualities or you had the training to do that job, even though it is unrelated to what you studied, you should be good. But like in your permanent residency application, you should be able to give like good reasons as to why you did that job even though you studied it. So just consider that and talk to your immigration lawyer about this.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. I think Shrishti has another question. Is it too late to get a winter co-op at Sheridan? Shrishti, I think Alicia just sent you a link on the chat. So if you can just go to that link, you'll be able to get information about the co-ops and their deadlines to apply. No worries. So guys, we all have been talking about our career pathways. What did we do? How did we come to Sheridan? Why networking and building connections are so important. But we also need to, we all have been through that phase that there are challenges definitely connected with when you're looking for a job outside. They're gonna be barriers, they're gonna be many challenges that you're gonna face when you're doing your research or when you're gonna start your first job. So Puneet, I would like to ask you, can you share any specific challenges that you faced after your graduation, and just share and if you can share your experience that how you were able to overcome all those barriers?
Right, absolutely. Um, I think everybody who's attending this conference will be able to relate when I say that when we're in the last semester and we're just about to graduate, that is the scariest and most anxious time, because you've been doing a course for 2-3 years and you knew exactly what you're doing, this assignment, this course, this test, this exam. But right after you've graduated, it's like you feel lost. It's like there is this uncertainty and you don't know what to do. And if I think that was like that's the biggest thing that you have to overcome, which is like, what do I do now? And for me, that was like, okay, I've graduated. My goal is to get permanent residency. What are my options? What are my pathways? Now, unfortunately, your immigration advisors at college cannot advise you on permanent residency, like this job will be good for you, or this knock code, or this tier, and this. So you are on your own for navigating these options, for navigating these pathways, which are the best for you. So I think that, and then because you have to do that, you are bound to connect with, some immigration lawyers and advisors who can probably tell you what will be your best course of way according to what your qualifications are, what your degree is, what your job is, if you will even have the points to get PR in Ontario, or do you have to move, or do you have to do another course, or do you have to do French, or I think for me, the biggest challenge was to like find a reliable and credible person to take that advice from, because and that's an advice for everyone. It's like there is so much misinformation out there. Even when you're doing your research on the internet, or even when you connect with certain people, some people will misinform you, some will try to take advantage of you, some will probably give you like half the information, and a little knowledge is worse than no knowledge. So those are the kind of challenges that a new student will experience when they're just graduating. But for me, the way to overcome these challenges was to be patient, to not to just jump on the conclusion by listening to one person or just reading one thing on the internet. It is to do thorough research, trust the credible sources. For me, I went to one lawyer and he was like, "Oh, you only did grade 12. You have to move provinces now." Another person who's like, "Oh, your current job, I don't think it's going to get you the permanent residency and stuff." And then another person at the end who was like, "Well, let's see, these are your job duties, and this is what it's on the website, and then this and this, and then you've done a 3-year diploma, so you get extra points, and this is how, we can, this is how you can approach your, like, you don't have to sacrifice your career, and if you don't want to move provinces, there are other ways to get permanent residency." So all in all, it's like you need to do your research and talk to a lot of people, and not just lawyers, but people like Lavraj and Sparshi who've already gone through the process, your friends or other alumni who have already gone through the process, who've already gotten their permanent residency. Like, ask for their advice and opinion as well. So again, it's just researching a lot and gathering a lot of information, and not just jumping onto conclusion on based on the misinformation on the internet.
Yeah, no, that's really important. Yeah, because sometimes we just take this information for granted, or we might just see whatever's out there to be truth, to be whatever it is. But yeah, always ask for help. Always look for professionals out there who can give you an advice. And Lavraj, you just I think you have your PR, right? Would you be able to share your experience on getting that, and how was it? Like, what steps did you take? How were you all able to overcome those situations?
100%. Yeah. So this would be my experience. And again, this is specific that happened with me at that time. So as soon as I graduated, I got a job, which I had a vision that I will be at this position, which would be really suitable for my express entry and my pathway to permanent residency. Um, So I kept working, got to the position where I was a store manager and eventually managing two stores. So I had quite a lot of responsibility in that sense. And even in the paperworks, I was able to get all those paperworks ready beforehand. So the key point in this would be I was planning ahead. So if I was thinking that I will be planning to file my permanent residency within after I complete my first year of work experience, I started when 6 months of experience ended, and only 6 months were left to file my permanent residency. So a 6 months time frame before I file my PR, so I can get my IELTS done. I can have my paperwork ready like a month or two before, and uh, just getting to know and familiarize with the IRCC guidelines and postings and what they are coming up with, right? But eventually, as soon as I was eligible for filing my permanent residency through Express Entry, uh, a special pathway came up, which was temporary resident to permanent resident, which was perfect timing as I was prepared. Now, the key point or the key learning, I would say, that some of my friends guided me through as well, that be prepared, even if you think, you know, you still have 6 months, you still have 2 months, you can get your pictures clicked a month before filing your file. You don't have to do on the day off, right? And so the process doesn't get delayed. There can be thousand things go wrong. The photographer wasn't able to make it to their shop because it was a winter storm outside, right? So make sure you put that all into your perspective, that I do want to get this done by this time, so I need to plan ahead, get my IELTS done, or if it's your degree evaluation, or from either of those companies who do degree evaluation uh, you know uh, from outside Canada. So do make sure you do that. For my permanent residency, again, there was a lot of wait. So, but you should take care that, because it's at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to do it. See, again, I see some questions. This is just my experience, that what I did. No, to the extent what I know, 6 months of you cannot apply for PR after 6 months. There might be different pathways, but this is not the pathway I chose. If you have any questions regarding this, you can connect with the registered immigration advisor at immigration student advisor at Sheridan. But you can start to prepare to file your permanent residency 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, depending on what you think might be the right time to do your research, get the stuff ready. So you're not delaying the process. The delay is not from your side. You are being prompt and um, you know being forward with your process. So you're up to date.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Livraj and Puneet, for sharing your individual experiences. And I think it's always best to talk about the challenges, and we just want to make sure that whoever is attending this session or people who will be seeing this recording are aware of these challenges and can get little inspiration from your stories. Harnoor asked question about how can we get connected with our alumni in the future. So, Harnoor, we're gonna have a segue to our next question, which is how do we still stay connected to Sheridan College? And Lavraj, I would like to ask you, um, how do you think that a student who will be graduating from Sheridan, how can they be still connected with Sheridan, and why do you think it's important to be connected with Sheridan even upon your graduation?
So after my graduation, I stayed connected with Sheridan because Sheridan has a lot of services that they offer. Either it's ESL, different preparation material, library, so many different resources that you can utilize to get an advantage. Now, there are many different departments as well. For example, career services, or after you graduate, there are work permit related questions that you might have. Immigration advisors on campus can help you with that. Up to there's a time limit that they can help within to help you file your post graduation work permit. But there are so many resources that you can use after you graduate. So staying connected always helps, because the community, the Sheridan community we have built, is really helpful. They would come out for you and to help you in different situations. Also, to some benefits that alumni office gives. One of them is insurance discounts. So maybe you are working and you want a car to go to your work and come back. So there are a lot of benefits that you can avail. And if there is a summer break, you want to go and enjoy your day, you can go to amusement parks with some discounts as well. So you can check the website and see what all discounts apply to you, and you can enjoy that as well. Even for prospective careers, in the sense you need help with resume or anything else, or after graduating you want a pathway to complete your degree, as I did a diploma, and I had a lot of questions about pathways, block transfers, credits. The services at Sheridan would be able to help you. By staying connected, you can search on Google, Sheridan Central. There are so many resources. It's the only thing is you need to go and access them, and you'll get a lot of information on that. So staying connected with Sheridan community would be really, really helpful for you to success.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. Yeah, I think Alicia just in the chat, she sent the alumni discount benefits link. So I would advise everyone here to go to this link, and you can see all the benefits that we have for our Sheridan alumni. So please make sure to go through them. Guys, as we all have been talking about this whole session around our journeys and the life after graduation, we would like to conclude this session by all of you sharing your advice for our current students who are about to graduate, who are about to start their journey of finding a job, or having a PR. So for all of you, let's start with Puneet. What one piece of advice would you share with our current international students? And then what would you wish that you had known before embarking your post-graduation journey?
Okay, that's a responsibility, leaving them with one piece of advice. I think I'm always going to be very adamant on networking and building connections. That will really, it seems like I'm just repeating the same point again and again, but I can't stress the importance of this enough. It's important. Other than that, I would also say practice a lot of interviews with, I think on Sheridan Works, we have a lot of resources for you to, for resume building or interview tips and how to ace your interviews. So those will be great resources to access as well. I think working on your portfolio and elevator pitch and seeking guidance from other people in your field is definitely a way to go. To be diligent in your search. One thing that I would like to tell people is that, yes, there will be highs and lows after, you graduate, and let's say you're trying to do something, trying to find a job, and you're unable to, and there are prolonged periods of demotivation and inspirational thoughts. For that, it is a process, and it's a process that everybody goes through. Everybody at some point has felt like giving up, or this is not going to happen, or and to take one day at a time. I know it's easy to say for me, but difficult to do when you're in the situation. But to just believe that if you're diligent, and if you don't give up, and you're taking one day at a time, and you're still trying and pursuing, that something will happen, and something good will happen. So just leaving you all with that, and feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn if you need any guidance, or if you want to connect. Lavraj, Sparshi, and I, we're all on LinkedIn, and we will be happy to connect with you. And like Sparshi, the last thing you asked, like what I wish I knew before I graduated, it's literally this thing. I wish I had a life after graduation conference, and I wish I could hear other alumni, because when you hear people with experience, you're literally taking so many points that you would have learned by experience, but now you just know, and that just adds to the extra knowledge. And now you're more you're well equipped to traverse this journey with better idea, with better resources. So I think that's really great. Over to you, Lavraj.
Yeah, well, I 100% agree with your points, Puneet. Networking is really important as well. And now the thing is, there's always some work to put in to either improving your skills, either improving your career, learning better skills, just working on yourself. So always remember this thing. So if you are working super hard and you are achieving a lot of stuff, make sure this piece of advice was given to me by a very wise person. That this shall pass, right? So if it's a good time or a bad time or a mediocre one that you are not satisfied with, this shall pass. So but you should keep working on the stuff you want to achieve in the long term. Now it can be right now, it can be a job, or right now it can be getting your assignment done, or maybe for some people finding a wife. So just working in that direction, keep working, and this shall pass as well. So this would be my piece of advice, that this shall pass, and keep working hard. Over to you, Sparshi.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Like everything that you have shared are all these really important nuggets of knowledge, and the advice is definitely, it becomes more important when it's coming from people who have lived it, and who have experienced it. And same, just to add on what you guys said, that one piece of advice that I would give from my past experience would be kind to yourself. Sometimes we know it's the world is a race and you have to run. We know that, but you have to be kind to yourself, your mental health, your physical health, and you have to remember that it's a journey. It's not a stop. It's not one stop that you're gonna go and just it's not a race that you are running forever. It's gonna be a journey, so you have to enjoy it. They're gonna be ups, it's gonna be downs, but just enjoy it. And we all are here. Sheridan, Sheridan people and their employees, their staff, their alumni, everyone is here to assist you in any way possible we can. And also please make sure, like, we have really important services and resources in student affairs under career services, who can help you with your resumes, with your interviews, with your mock interview, with professional etiquettes and everything. So we are here to help you, so please make sure to use these resources. And yeah, I think that will be my advice for all the students. um, so
That was amazing. Thank you so very much. So speaking of career resources, as a graduate, you do have a lifetime access to all of the career resources here at Sheridan. So you can, on the alumni website, link that is shared in the chat, there is a spot there where you can book a appointment with a career counselor and they can help you. So but Sparshi, Puni, Lovraj, thank you so very much. Such an informative and enlightening conversation. I encourage everyone to connect with them on LinkedIn. I'm sure they'd be happy to continue answering your questions that you might have. So up next, we have a session on your basic employment rights. To get there, we'll leave this session. Under the navigation tab bar at the top, click on the agenda, and then pick your basic employment law rights to join. And we will begin that session at 11:30. Thank you once again, everyone. See you soon.